Hello and welcome back. It's Heike with Heike's Furniture Art. Yes, people has asked me how I age my transfers. So I put a picture on my page. You can see that I distressed. I put paint over it. And I had several people who asked me, can you show how you apply a transfer? I didn't do that during the live because there are so many tutorials out there that show how to apply the transfer. But as I had, people asking me, I said, okay, as I want to put one on the other side, I'm going to film this. People have also asked me if it's difficult to put on a transfer on the base coat that I have, because my base coat is done with sea spray and paint, so there is a texture in it. I'd say if there's heavy texture, it will be quite difficult because you might tear up a bit the transfer. It might, you might have to work it much more than you would on a flat surface, that's for sure. For my style, it doesn't matter that much because I'm still aging it. So if there's a little tear and wear on it, it doesn't matter. Now on this piece, the texture is not as heavy as maybe on other pieces that I do. So it's not a big problem. You have to rub on a bit more, but those transfers from Dixie Belle are really easy to apply. Now, the transfer I used yesterday is the Magnolia Garden transfer from the Bells and Whistles range from Dixie Belle, and it comes in 4 sheets. So I use this one over here, and there are 3 other sheets, and I decided to cut it out and use pieces of these different ones. This is what they're here for. So you can really combine and do your own design with it. So I've created my design, and this is what it looks like. I cut out a few leaves, I cut out a branch and 2 flower bulbs, and I want to layer them on top of each other. So yes, they kind of, the flower bulb might hide the leaf a little bit, like in real life, like flowers in the garden as well. And I'm going to start off with the branch that I put here. I'm going to start putting the leaves, and only then I am going to put on the flower bulbs. I already have the color that I want on this side. It will still be worked on because once the transfer is on, I want to age it just like I did here. So the transfer is part of the piece. It's not on top of it, but it's as if over the years there has been, use and abuse of the piece. As I said, I wanted to look, I wanted to have an old world finish, and for the moment I am going to work on applying the transfer and show you how I do it. First thing is I am going to take off the flower bulbs and the leaves. And I'm going to take my branch, just putting the tape here so I know about where I'm going to put it. Gives me kind of a place to put it on. The transfers come with this tool in it, in the box or in the tube where they are put, and this is to be able to rub the transfer on. I also have this one. If you have anything else, just use it. Just be aware it has to be a bit of a rounded let me see, shape, so you don't tear it up whilst rubbing. Another thing is that they have a protective sheet. So as I said before, I'm going to use this one. And if you cut them up, what I do is, let me just show you here because I've already got this handy. I just use it as a piece of tape and I put it together so I don't lose the protective sheet, because if the protective sheet comes off and there is dirt on your transfer that you're going to rub on, it won't stick. So you better be careful when you have all those pieces and you want to put them somewhere, to make sure that this sheet is on, sorry, and stays on. First thing to do is to take off the protective sheet. The protective sheet is the white sheet, and I have my little tape here, the way I want the top to be, and I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to take a piece of tape as well and put it down so it holds down, and then I'm going to just rub on it first, like this, just to adhere it slightly, and then I am going to take my stick and I'm going to start rubbing this on. I took you a little closer so you can see, and normally I do this when the piece is lying down. Whoops. So you might see, at least I hope so, that here it's slightly lighter than here, and this means the transfer is sticking to the piece. You can take off a bit and see how it goes, and you can see very, very easy, it's already on the piece. Continuing this. Are you still with me? There we go. I have to hold the piece so it doesn't move backwards. And I'm just rubbing this on. If you take your piece, like if you take the sheet away and you see it's still not really adhered, you just keep on going and rubbing the piece on. I'm going to take this away because this bothers me. If I have long pieces, I just cut the sheet that already came off, and maybe you can see here. So I'm going to put this around this edge, this intricate thing here. I'm just pushing this, and afterwards when I take off the sheet, I will take my fingers and make sure it's adhered. Let's see, because I still have some shades here, but I am sure that we're already good. Yes. See how easy that is? And now I'm just pushing this, making sure that it's onto it. I'm going over with my fingers, with my hand, my flat hand, rubbing very lightly, making sure that everything has adhered. And that's the first step. So you really don't have to be afraid to use them, specifically if you use them on flat surfaces. Just go with it. They're really easy to apply and it's no problem. And if you want to do a design or something, I would always recommend to cut out the transfer and then you know, combine them and see what you want to do. Sometimes what I also do is I take photos of different designs that I put together, and then I choose the one I like best, because I think taking a step back and looking at photos is for me very helpful. Next are the leaves. I'm going to take off my backing sheet as before, and I'm going to put it round about here. I'm going to rub on with my fingers again. So there's a first adhesive, and I'm also going to put this one immediately because otherwise I will forget where I put it. That would be typical me. Okay, I'm going to use my tape to help me stick it on and stay on. And now we are going to start rubbing again. Let me put another one here just to make sure. I think it's a really good idea to take photos once you know what design you want to do, because at least for me, I keep forgetting. I put everything and I said, oh, that looks nice, and I said, let's do this, and then I forget what I wanted to do. So I just took a photo before and I printed it out, so it helps me remember what I did or what I had in mind. I still did a change about a leaf. Let me just check this leaf, if it's on, and it's on as well. So again, let's rub this. Just be careful not to rub off the transfer when you do this. And especially if there's some texture. If I would really rub hard now with my fingers, I would tear the transfer for sure, because there are these little, there's this little structure in it. And I'm going to go ahead with this one. And you see, even though I've got texture on my piece, of course not heavy texture, with the sea spray, they still turn out beautifully. Okay, here, let's go around the edge here. I'm very impatient, and I always have to remind myself, if you want this to look okay, then take your time applying this, which I didn't do on the other side. Wow, looks so nice. Look at the definition, look at the colors of this. If you have a smooth piece, or you're not aging your pieces like I do, this looks just gorgeous. Okay, I've got another leaf here, and where did I want to put that? Maybe I can just put it around here. So I'm already changing my mind, but maybe it would be better to decide where I'm going, oh yes, where I'm going to put my flower. I think that's nice. Okay, let's go for it. Taking off my backing sheet again, so I only have the transparent part. Make sure you position it right. I don't mind it being over over the branch, because this is what happens in real life as well when you look at flowers. Okay. Let's see what this looks like overlapping. I generally don't do a lot of overlapping like this. But I know you can. Up here as well, make sure it's over the edge. Okay, not just yet. I can see when I slightly pull that the transfer is coming as well. Now what you really have to make sure is that your piece is really dry, because it happened that I didn't wait for the whole piece to really dry and then put the transfer, and when I rubbed the transfer on, it pulled off the paint. Well, that's very frustrating, because first of all it tears the transfer, and then it also pulls off the paint. And it just happened lately as well, impatient as I am. So now I really wanted this to work. Oh, look how beautiful that looks. I like that. Again, burnish it. With the texture, you can see a bit of the texture. It's got a bit of a roughy texture, which is obvious because if you have a transfer, it's transparent or semi-transparent, and you can see what's going through. I think I want to put this one on as well. Not sure if it's a good idea. Maybe this one. Maybe this one is nicer. Let me cut it out. Oh, by the way, did you see there is a little butterfly as well? Such a sweet butterfly in those colors. Okay, I think I like this one. Let me just take off the backing sheet and see what it looks like when it's on without burnishing already. Hoppala, so I have to be very careful. So I want it to kind of be in front of the flower. Go like this or like this, or maybe like this. Maybe this is nice too. Oops. So you see, I'm already changing the composition that I had before. Yes, I think this is what I want. Okay, let's go for it. Just make sure not to put your tape on the transfer. And again, let's rub this on. Hoppala. My leaves flying around. Let's see. Hoppala. I want to get this on the flat surface and then work on the rounded surface, which is a bit of a challenge again, because there is this design in the piece. And the transfer might suffer a little bit. I will have to work with my hands and fingers once this is adhered. No, not yet. Be very careful when you do that. Really take your time. Okay, so I can see, if you can see this, I don't know if you are able to see this. So it has not adhered just yet here because it was rounded. So I'm just going to push it down with my fingers and make it be one with the wood that's underneath. And I'm also going to push down very, very lightly with this tool that I have here to make sure it really sticks onto. Just push, don't rub with the tool, but just push it down. There you go. That seems fine to me. Yes. Okay, I think I like that. I might put just one more leaf. I don't know yet. I am putting on a last leaf just about here. Or maybe down here. No. Going to put it here. Okay. I'm going to put my tape elsewhere so I do not tear up my transfer underneath. So when you do your design, just think of what it looks like. I like the idea of a leaf covering part of the flower, or you could put the leaves and then put the flower on top, or just let the leaves, you know, have a peek through, which gives it depth as well. And if you look in the garden, if you look at the magnolia, or you look at any flowers, this is also something that's happening, or you can observe in the garden. Just make sure to really put it on. It's not sticking yet here. And as I'm pulling this off very, very carefully, I'm fine with it. Okay, I think I'm done. I don't want more because I really have a very heavy, let me just go here, sorry. I already have a very heavy picture, I'd say. It's not a heavy picture, but it's quite a dominant picture. And this, I wanted to be a bit lighter. And this is it. So we put on this transfer on a textured surface. As I said, you know, make sure you do your design before. Take a photo, maybe print it out, and it helps you to remember how you wanted to do it. And again, it's not the way it is on the photo. It's a bit different, but I really, really like it. And this is how you put on a transfer. So for those people who ask me, I hope this was helpful to you to see that you don't have to be scared of putting on a transfer. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you did. And I am going to continue working on this, and I'm going to age it up. Although it's really beautiful, but as I already aged this part, I also have to age this door as well. Here it is, one last time, aged and non-aged. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.